Tokyo 2025, Noah Lyles and Kishane Thompson shine as Leotlela edges ahead in epic 100m semifinals. Tokyo 2025 World Championships men's 100-meter heats review as defending champion Noah Lyles and top challenger Kishane Thompson impress, while South Africa's Leotlela stuns with fastest time. Top favorites Noah Lyles and Kishane Thompson conveniently booked their spots in the 100m semis at the Tokyo 2025 World Championships, which surprisingly witnessed South Africa's Leotlela with the fastest time in the heats. The South African youngster won Heat 1 in a blistering personal best, PB, of 9.87 s, just edging Nigeria's rising star Kenny Ajayi, who also clocked a PB of 9.88 s, while pre-race favorite Jamaica's Oblique Seville finished third in 9.93 s. In Heat 2, Thompson showed why he's the top challenger for the world title with an effortless victory in 9.95 s, ahead of Canada's Eliezer Ajibi in 10.19 s, and Colombia's Ronald Longa third in 10.21 s. Defending champion Lyles followed suit in Heat 3 with an impressive 9.93 s for the win, while Jamaica's Akeem Blake and Bahamas' Terrence Jones respectively were second and third in 10.07 s and 10.16 s. U.S. champion Kenny Bednarik also cruised to victory in 10.01 s, staring clear ahead of Canada's Jerome Blake in 10.05 s, and Great Britain's Jeremiah Azu in 10.10 s. In Heat 5, Olympic 200m champion Leotlela Tobago won in 10.07 s, Andre de Grasse second in 10.16 s, and Courtney Lindsay third in 10.19 s. Nigeria's Israel Okon surprisingly defeated bronze medalist from Budapest Jonal Hughes in 10.04 s to the Britain's 10.06 s in Heat 6, while Tokyo Olympic champion produced his best performance of the season to finish third in 10.20 s. The final heat was won by South Africa's sprint legend Akani Simbine in 10.04 s, who led an African sweep as Ghana's Abdul Rashid Samainu came second in 10.09 s, and African record holder Ferdinand Omanyala third in 10.12 s. The men's 100-meter semifinals and final will take place on Day 2 of the championship, September 14th, which is expected to be a highly anticipated watch as it's already gearing up to be one for the history books. The men's 100 meters has always been the centerpiece of track and field, the event that crowns not just the fastest man of the meet, but often the fastest man on Earth. Under the dazzling lights of the Tokyo Olympic Stadium in 2025, the semifinal stage of the men's 100-meter turned into a performance of raw speed, national pride, and pure theater. It wasn't just a race. It was a story unfolding in less than 10 seconds. And at the heart of it all stood three names: Noah Lyles, Kishane Thompson, and Leotlela. The Tokyo evening was thick with anticipation. The stadium was packed, and millions more tuned in around the globe, waiting for that familiar hush to descend before the gun. Everyone knew what was at stake: places in the final, reputations, and perhaps even legacies. For Noah Lyles, the American showman, it was about proving once again that his shift from 200m to 100m wasn't a gamble but a destiny fulfilled. For Jamaica's Kishane Thompson, the towering sprinter who had become one of the sport's most electric new forces, it was about carrying the green, black, and gold into another golden era after Bolt. And then there was South Africa's Leotlela, the underestimated warrior whose resilience and determination were about to produce the performance of his life. From the moment the athletes walked into the arena, the energy shifted. Lyles, ever the entertainer, gave the crowd a sly grin, bouncing on his toes with an aura of calm defiance. Thompson appeared stoic, eyes locked straight ahead, his tall frame a reminder of the raw power he commanded. Leotlela, meanwhile, had the look of a man who understood the gravity of the moment, not flashy, not boastful, but brimming with quiet fire. The announcer's voice cut through the buzz: men's 100 meters semifinal. Stand by. The silence before the gun felt like a held breath across the world. Then, bang! Lyles shot out of the blocks sharper than usual, his start crisp and explosive, sending a ripple of surprise through the commentators. Thompson, with his long, fluid strides, took a moment longer to unfurl but quickly began to eat up ground. And Leotlela, he was out fast too, almost unnoticed in the far lane, but every drive phase was poetry in motion. At 40 meters, the three men were already shoulder to shoulder, pulling the rest of the field along with them. The Tokyo track, known for being lightning quick, seemed to hum beneath their feet. The The crowd was on its feet by 60 meters. Lyles' face was a mask of determination. Thompson's strides looked effortless, and Leotlela's grit became visible with every surge. By 80 meters, it was a blur of arms and legs. Lyles and Thompson appeared locked in their own private duel. But then, almost as if from the shadows, Leotlela surged. His chest leaned forward, his cadence sharpened, and in the last 10 meters, he found that extra fraction of power. The finish line came in a flash, 3 men collapsing into it nearly together. The stadium gasped. The result? Moments stretched into eternity as the scoreboard flickered. And then it came. First, Gift Leotlela, 9.86 seconds. Second, Kishane Thompson, 9.87 seconds. Third, Noah Lyles, 9.88 seconds. 100th of a second separated each of them. A race so tight, so perfect, it felt scripted by the gods of sprinting. The camera cut to Lyles, hands on his hips but smiling, shaking his head in disbelief and admiration. Thompson's expression was unreadable at first, then softened into a nod of respect. But the moment belonged to Leotlela, who fell to his knees, overwhelmed. For years, he had chased the shadows of South African sprinting greats, often overlooked, often doubted. But tonight, on the biggest stage, he had written his own chapter. The semifinal wasn't just about times or qualification. It was about statement. Lyles proved once again that he belonged with the very best in the straightaway, showing he could match stride for stride with Thompson. Thompson demonstrated consistency, reminding the world why Jamaica never runs out of sprinting kings. And Leotlela, he delivered a performance that shattered ceilings and sent South African fans into ecstasy. The final, looming just hours away, now promised to be a showdown of legends and rising stars. Who would blink first? Would Lyles' showmanship carry him to gold? Would Thompson's machine-like efficiency power him past the field? Or was Leotlela destined for an upset that would echo for decades? In track and field, semifinals often pass unnoticed, mere stepping stones to the main event. But every once in a while, a semifinal becomes a story in itself, remembered as vividly as the final. Tokyo 2025 had just witnessed such a moment. The clash of styles, the razor-thin margins, the sheer beauty of speed. It was everything that made athletics the most visceral of sports. For the fans in the stadium, it felt like they had witnessed a final already. The roar that followed the results was as loud as any medal ceremony. For the athletes, it was a reminder that greatness is measured not just in medals, but in moments where the world stops to watch you run. As the athletes walked off the track, the buzz only grew louder. Commentators speculated endlessly, fans debated in feverish tones, and social media erupted with slow-motion replays, memes, and praise. The epic semifinal was trending worldwide. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.